Hi guys, so just wanted to make a quick video on this hard start capacitor, and this particular one is by Electric Motor Capacitors EMC. I don't know if there's any specific brand. I don't see one. I think this is the relay. So this one, let's see, it's EMC, Electric Motor Capacitor. It's 189 to 227 microfarad, and then it has this relay. So what exactly use this for? If you have a compressor, air conditioned compressor that is not kicking in for some reason, and you have checked the impedance on your compressor, and one of the cases that I ran into was at one of my rental properties. The compressor was not kicking in, and I checked the impedance on the terminals on the compressor, and everything looked good. So then one thing I tried was this capacitor. I checked the capacitance on this type of capacitor, and the common to harm was not what it was supposed to be. So this in this case is a 60 MFT, and I think mine was getting like 30. So I thought, okay, this thing is bad, so I replaced it. But guess what? There was no response from the compressor, even after replacing this capacitor. My fan was good, everything else was good. So, so I was like, okay, let me see what else I need. So I took this guy, and connected this to the compressor. And, there's a wiring diagram that you can pretty much connect this. Basically it just goes on top of the capacitor. I'll try to see if I can find a link so I can leave it down below in the description how to install one of these, but fairly simple. So I decided to install one of these hard start capacitor, and once I did, I was kind of surprised that the compressor kicked in, and that just amazes me that at one point I thought my compressor was bad, and I was kind of panicking because I had to replace the unit. So went to my local store, grabbed one of these for like 35 bucks, installed it. So there are different kinds. I made another video on one of the hard store capacitor. I'm going to leave that link below. Those are garbage capacitors. Those are garbage hard start kits. This particular kit comes with the capacitor, and a relay, and this is what you're looking for. Because if you buy one of those cheap ones, with just one capacitor, and it kind of shows one of the relays in the middle, those are, guys, don't spend or waste your money on those. You definitely want to get something with an independent relay kit, right? Just like this, and then get, like, they'll give you a perfect match, or work much better. The other ones, they can work, for like a little bit, but in the long run, if the contact or whatever they install over there fails, it's going to damage your compressor. So you definitely don't want this. You want to have an actual relay contact, which has a coil and a contact, things like that, which will save you, from burning out your compressor. So over here you can see, the wiring diagram. So this one acts like a switch. So you definitely want to have something, an independent relay. Now, do I really need this on my standard systems? It's always good to have one of these. I never had it on my unit. My unit worked for 15, 20 years, but it's always good to start one of these, on your compressor, because your compressor does not take that burden when every time it's coming on. So do you really need it? Maybe not, but again, it just takes that stress off of your compressor. For 35 bucks, it's I would highly recommend it. So if you don't have one, go ahead and get yourself one. What happens is, in the long run, your compressor starts to get weaker and weaker and weaker, and this kit is basically gives the weak compressor a boost for it to go online every time the compressor is coming online. So these are mainly designed for on the single stage units. So if you have a dual stage or variable stage units, I would probably not put these on, because those compressors normally stay on, especially if it's a variable speed one. So you're never gonna use this particular one, unless your compressor is not kicking on or something, then you can hook this up. This is a very good tool for if you're troubleshooting a compressor as well. So for example, like, if you have a air conditioning unit that does not kick on for some odd reason and you're trying to troubleshoot, everything looks good, so if you install one of these, in some cases it does bring your compressor back to life because of that extra boost that it gets from this kit. So if you are a HVAC tech or something, I would definitely have this one of your on your trucks, just for troubleshooting purposes. But it's a well worth investment for 35 bucks, guys. You can pick this up, from anywhere, from online or from your local HVAC store. So in some cases, this resistor also goes bad, not necessarily your capacitor is bad. So if you're measuring capacitance with this resistor in the middle, sometimes you may not get the actual value. So you may have to unsolder this, get this resistor out, then measure the capacitance, and then also check the resistance on this particular resistor, because many times, like, it's just a resistor that's gone bad. So or you can pick up one of these capacitors from local store and just put this resistor back in, and you can have your kit up and working. This relay contact rarely goes bad, so I wouldn't worry too much about this. But guys, hopefully it helps you understand a little bit. These are things that I picked up and learned from my research. But hopefully it helps you guys. If you like the video, please subscribe to my channel and like the video. Thank you.